Tonight's story is the story of a little boy who turned into a shoe.
No.
He did really. One day, he went with his mummy and daddy to the swimming pool, and everybody had to take their shoes off and put them in the shoe cabinet. Then they went for a lovely swim and had some races in the water and splashed.
But I didn't put the shoes on.
We'll get to that. And they splashed around, and the daddy picked up the little boy and threw him in the water with a big splash. Then the little boy ran round the edge of the pool and jumped into the water with daddy waiting with his arms outstretched to catch him when he got to the bottom, when he got there, so he wasn't frightened of the water. And daddy and the little boy learned to swim together. Daddy showed him how to do the doggy paddle and keep his legs straight like that when he kicked him, and showed him that if you kick your legs, you go forwards, and if you paddle with your hands, you go forwards, and if you do both at the same time, you go forwards twice as fast. So the little boy tried to do it and had a race with Daddy. Daddy gave him a head start, and guess what? The little boy nearly won. Not quite, it was almost a dead heat. Daddy beat him, but the little boy was determined next time he's going to go even faster. So he thought about how he could move his hands. He thought, I know, it's a bit like if I'm crawling on the ground and trying to push some sand behind me to go forwards. And then he thought, I'll beat my daddy next time. Then they all went in the sauna, got nice and warm. Then they came out and dried themselves off and put their clothes on and went out to the outside the pool where the shoes were. Now, the little boy thought it would be nice and funny if he hid in the shoe cabinet where all the shoes were. So that's what he did. He got in the shoe cabinet and sat there like a pair of shoes. Now, Mummy and Daddy came out. Mummy put her shoes on, and Daddy couldn't find his shoes, but he saw the little boy sitting there, but he didn't realize it was the little boy. He thought it was his shoes. So he put the little boy on the ground and put his foot on top of the boy's head, and it fitted perfectly. And he put the other foot on the boy's tummy, and that fit perfectly. And he thought, well, these are very comfortable shoes, even if it feels like I've got a nose in my foot, which he had, because he was standing on the boy's nose. And he started to walk, and the boy became flatter and flatter and flatter under his feet. Until they got to the bedroom, the boy was as flat as a pancake. Then Daddy said to Mummy, oh, we've just come up to the bedroom, but we forgot our little boy. Where is he? And Mummy looked around, couldn't see him. Daddy looked around, couldn't see him. And Daddy said, we must have left him in the swimming pool. Mummy, can you go and check? So she went to look for the little boy. Daddy...
You checked in the swimming pool?
It's what?
You checked in the swimming pool?
Well, no, the little boy was on Daddy's feet. The little boy had actually turned into a pair of shoes. So, the little boy was now wearing a pair of shoes, that was in fact a pair of shoes being worn by Daddy. And the more Daddy walked on the shoes, the flatter the little boy became, until he was no thinner than a sheaf of paper. Mummy came back from the swimming pool and said to Daddy, we've lost our little boy, he's not there. And Daddy said, I wonder where he is. But I do tell you, these shoes I'm wearing, they seem much more comfortable than before. Then Daddy decided it was time to watch television. So he sat down in front of the television, and the Night Garden was on. So Daddy put his feet up with a nice cup of hot mulled wine and started to watch the television. The Night Garden, and it was Makka Pakka washing everybody's faces on the television. But as he sat there with his feet on the table, the little boy, who'd been very squashed and flat, now started to get bigger and become a normal boy again, until very soon he could jump off Daddy's feet and say, hello Daddy, it's me. And Daddy was very surprised to see him. Oh, my little boy, he said, I thought we'd lost you. No, Daddy, I turned into a pair of shoes, said the little boy. Well, that's very interesting. But whatever happened to my shoes? And then just then they heard the mummy coming back, and Daddy said to the little boy, quick, hide! So the little boy went to hide under the table, and Mummy came in carrying Daddy's shoes. She said, Daddy, I found your shoes by the swimming pool. No, she didn't say, Daddy, I found you. She said, Daddy, I found these shoes by the swimming pool in the shoe cabinet. I think our little boy must have climbed in the shoe cabinet and turned into this pair of shoes. And Daddy said, my goodness me, how could that happen? But Daddy said, I think I have an idea. I think I know how to change a pair of shoes into our little boy. So Daddy said, watch, I'll put these shoes under the table, then I'll put a towel over them, and I'll say the magic word, and abracadabra, and guess what? The little boy came running out, hello, Mummy! And Mummy was astonished. She said,
He closed the eyes.
Yes, she closed her eyes.
And then he told the boy to go under the sheet.
Yes, the boy went under the sheet, and the shoes were hidden away. And then when Mummy opened her eyes, the boy jumped out of the sheet and said, hello, Mummy! Mummy was very surprised. She didn't know how Daddy had turned a pair of shoes back into a little boy, but that's what it seemed. But really, the real shoes were somewhere else hidden, waiting to be cleaned. So that's one story.
Another story.
Sure, another story sounds good, but I'm going to put it on a separate story here.